My name is
Shane from the Drum Center of Portsmouth, here in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We are on the web at drumcenternh.com, and we have a lot to discuss today. There are a lot of new drums in the neighborhood, and they are all by Rogers. We've got a new set of drums from Rogers, the Cleveland series. We also have the SuperTen series snare drums, and then the very limited and very cool ThunderTone snare drum. But before we get started, I would like to remind you to please click that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you get notified when we post new videos. It really helps us when you do that. So thank you, and let's get into this. Cleveland series drums are a nice continuation. These are a follow-up to the Covington release. These are slightly different. These feature a 5-ply maple and poplar shell with maple re-rings, the rounded bearing edge, and the fruitwood satin interior on the inside. Like the Covington series and the Dyno-Matic snare drums, these drums are lovingly handcrafted and put together by Bill Dedamore here in the United States, and what a fantastic job he does with these. They're debuting this series with just one finish and 2 size configurations. So you have to like this finish, and it's really hard not to. This is the Sky Blue Onyx. And if you think of the Rogers drums of days past, that's something that they did so well. The Onyx finish is just gorgeous. Size configurations that they are offering are a 20, 12, and 14 in all the traditional depths. And then we've got this guy, which is the 22, 13, 16 setup. So this is a little bit more of a limited offering. It allows them to make the price lower than what you've seen on the Covington series drums and still deliver that Rogers sound. I love what a great job that they have done in terms of preserving the appearance of Rogers drums, the lugs, the badge. I mean, it's dead on. As we have evolved over the years, we've required our drum gear to be a little more sturdy, and so they've beefed up the bass drum spurs, floor tom brackets that have a little bit of a tighter tolerance, but they still utilize the hex floor tom legs that Rogers pioneered all those years ago, which allows for more stable placement. And for some reason, these T-rods are just doing it for me on this kit. They look just great. The fit and finish of these drums are absolutely top flight, but you would expect that when you're paying this much for a set of drums. And the sound, well, that's all subjective, and it is a cool kit. It gives you the chance to get that Rogers sound, that Rogers look, as long as you dig this color and these sizes. And if the line proves to be a performer, we will perhaps see some more colors and more configurations. The SuperTen series is a callback to the original SuperTen snare drum that was released in the 1960s. That was a nice response to the increasing demands that drummers were putting on their snare drums. They were hitting harder, they needed more lugs, they needed more accurate tuning, and a lot of them didn't need the Dyno-Matic snare gate because they didn't require that kind of sensitivity. So the SuperTen was born, and now here it is again. Now this has a 3-ply shell with 2mm thick plies and reinforcement hoops and the 10 lugs, which gives this a nice unique sound. The insides of the shell are also finished in the classic fruitwood satin. Also, we've got the internal muffler, which is back, which is cool. It is nice to see that again because people have been muffling from the top for the past few years, but this goes back to the way we used to muffle, which is from the bottom up. So, gives you a little bit of flexibility there. This also has the clock face throw-off, which is beautifully simple, elegant, very easy to use. This particular drum is a 14 by 6.5, although they are also available in a 5-inch depth. And next we have the ThunderTone. This is a very limited piece. There's only 20 of them made, and this is the one we have left. It is a classic floor tom / snare drum, or a SNOM, as it has become referred to. SNOM. Well, I suppose you couldn't call it a flare drum.
I wear a $15,000 Rolex!
Although flare drum works, whatever. It has legs and floor tom brackets on it, so you do not need a snare drum stand. And of course, you have the snare drum throw off, so we can turn it into a floor tom or a snare drum, which gives it really cool, unique sound. And it's a lot of fun to have over on your left or your right if you're a lefty. This drum has the 5-ply maple poplar shell with the 2-ply reinforcement hoops. It also has 42-strand wires to give you a little bit more buzz. One thing we did notice on this particular snare drum, though, is that the height that you see is as high as it can go. So if you're going to require it to be any higher, then you might want to put it in a snare drum stand, which is totally fine. It's not going to change the sound in any way, but it's just good food for thought there. We're also using the Rogers bass drum pedal on this particular set. The highest compliment I can give this pedal is that it didn't me off. When it comes to the recreation of a lot of old style bass drum pedals, I just don't understand it. We have all this progress and this technology that has come along, and bass drum pedals have become so advanced. Why do we want to go backwards, right? Well, I like this pedal. It feels really good. Doesn't me off. We also are using it because this particular drum has the T-handles down at the bottom, and so this was the only pedal we could put on here.
What the hell?
So if you have a DW pedal or a Tama, Yamaha pedal, something like that, you might run into a hiccup when you're trying to put it on this bass drum. Simple fix would just be buying some bass drum T-rods that we will also include in the links in the description below. The cymbal set that we're featuring is one of our proprietary cymbal packs that we do with Zildjian, and this is the Kolossal pack. I had a harebrained idea many years ago about a very big cymbal set. I wanted to have a lighter set of hi-hats and ride, and I wanted to have the crashes be a little bit thicker so they could cut a little bit more. We have the 24-inch light ride, 15-inch light hats, and then the 18 and 20 dark thin crashes. If you'd like to buy these drums or these cymbals, the links are all in the description below. As a reminder, we would love it if you click that subscribe button and click that little bell so that you get notified when we create new videos like this. This helps us bring you more videos. And as always, thank you for the support.